All right, so let's get to a hot topic with the Lakers and LeBron. LeBron's sort of cryptic ultimatum for the Lakers and kind of how he sees the rest of his career going. Now, do you think there comes a time in the next week or two that after it's all said and done, when we find out, hey, we've made this trade or we've signed these free agents, and LeBron looks at the roster and goes, yeah, this is not a championship contending team. I want out. Do you think that's a possibility? Like if you had to put it on a scale of 1 to 10 or give it a percent, what do you think that percent looks like?
Well, before I give the percentage, I know we talked about this a couple of days ago because the news had just come out, and we got a little bit of clarity on it since then. And so I see some people in the chat talking about Lakers are going to trade him, and they might, but keep in mind, Lakers just can't make that decision on their own. LeBron's going to have to make that decision, right? He's got the no trade clause, so he really is in control with that. Just something to factor in. But I say there's a 20% chance, maybe 15 to 20% chance he gets traded, probably 80% chance he stays. And that's because, like I just said a moment ago, the news broke where they kind of clarified, hey, it is what it is. What you heard is something the Lakers already know. LeBron wants to play a few more years, which I'm like, oh, all of a sudden he wants to play a few more years, but that's fine. But in my opinion, though, it's all signs are pointing towards it's kind of the end. It is going to be the last year of maybe LeBron in general playing in the NBA, but I think it's going to be his last year on the Lakers. It's just wait and see if he's actually going to be on the Lakers this season. And I think he will. I think it's just really, really a big challenge to make a trade. I think his team also, kind of what I've heard from like Dave McMenamin, said that like LeBron, like all these lack of moves and things that are happening, this was already known that this was most likely going to go like this. And I don't think it's a big surprise. So I don't think the last 2 days are going to change LeBron's thoughts, because we all knew that there wasn't this huge move out there that was going to be like, oh my God, like, we're, better than OKC now. So I would kind of a long answer, but I would give maybe a 15 to 20% chance he goes. And then obviously 75 to 80% chance, 80 to 85% chance that he stays in the purple and gold.
Okay. The way I think about this is, to me, I just think it's on two sides. I think it's 50% that LeBron is just doing his usual kind of cryptic tweets, cryptic language, and things like that. And he's coming back to LA because he knows there's not much market out there. Like, he couldn't be a free agent. That's why he opted in. He's not going to get the money that he would normally get. And there's just not that many teams that can possibly trade for him and have the right pieces kind of do that. So that's where the 50% goes. But then I think on the other hand, like, I think he was not blindsided. Everybody's blindsided by the Luka trade. I think he was surprised, shocked, but happy. But then he realized that it's a business, and his boy AD got traded out of nowhere, and the Lakers just changed ownership. So I think there's some changes going on, and he knows they're going for the youth movement, and he said that in his statement with Rich Paul. He knows it's Luka's team moving forward, but he wants it to be about him. And so I think that 50% is still saying, I'm still him. I'm still the king. And I want to win another championship. I know he's gone on his pod and talked about ring culture and rings don't really matter anymore to him. Oh, they do. And he still wants to get another ring. And I don't know necessarily if he thinks, and we don't know what moves they're going to make, but I don't think there's that move that's going to take the Lakers over the top with a stacked West Coast. I think, and I probably said it way too much on Twitter, I probably said it a lot, but I think him going to a team like the Knicks makes a lot of sense on both sides. I think for the Knicks, it's their chance to finally get over the hump and win one, especially in a weekend Eastern Conference. And for the Lakers, getting back some quality pieces like a big and a wing defender, which the Knicks have a plethora of, right? So if you're choosing between OG, Bridges, Josh Hart, and Robinson, any combination of those two, and then obviously making the math work, I think that could definitely be a big possibility. The Cavs is more of a long shot because of all the things that they have to do to get under the apron. So those are just my thing. I think it's a 50-50. And to be honest, I think it's swayed more into that, like him understanding that he might request a trade versus like back in the last couple of years. I don't think that would ever fathom him trying to ask a trade from the Lakers.
Yeah, a couple of years ago during the deadline, there was like the little bit of rumors with Golden State, and that really was never anything. And so now this is the first time in the LeBron Lakers era that we're hearing inklings of a possibility of him being a bit disgruntled. And so it's going to make everyone kind of go haywire one way or the other. I know there's been plenty of Laker fans that are kind of, done with the LeBron era. I do ask you guys, though, to just recall what the 6 years were before LeBron came, before you get too disrespectful. But I do understand part of it. Like, I think you could have it both ways. You can say, I'm kind of ready. I think Lakers should try to get something for him versus him just leaving next year or, retiring or what have you. But at the same time, like, be grateful for him bringing some kind of joy to the Lakers, right? Those 6 years were just pathetic, winning 30 games, us not even, being able to talk anything about him. So I just have to mention that. And but that being said, he is definitely feeling that playing second fiddle type of deal right now, right?
Yeah.
But in my opinion, why, like, we have Luka. Yeah, we have Luka, but we should be trying to win now, whether if it's with LeBron or not. I don't see how there could be disconnect. Like, I want to make moves to win now. Lakers should be making moves to win now. Luka, he is at his best right now. He's 26, 27, 28 years old. I just don't think it's going to get better. I mean, better than that, right? I'm not saying there's going to be a big fall off, but this is his best years right here.
Do you think Luka wants to not win now? Like, it's like the way they're posing it, like, oh yeah, we're trying to the youth movement. We want to build around Luka. You still have LeBron. You still have one of the greatest players there. Just make it work with those two. And albeit they could be doing that, right? We don't know everything on the details. But, like, why don't you go ahead and say that? Lakers haven't come out and said, we're trying to build around these two. Have you heard Rob Pelinka come out and say, we're trying to build around Luka and LeBron? And win right now? No. So I think that's a bad move because I don't know if anybody knows this. Luka's a free agent next year. If he doesn't sign his extension on August 2nd, he's going to be
may have not talked about that.
So if we're going into this season, Luka a free agent without extension, oh shit, you best believe it's going to be a long season because that's all we're going to be talking about for the whole year. All the media is going to say when things get bad, oh, Luka's can't wait to get the free agency. Oh, Luka can't wait to get out. Like, all you're going to hear is all this stuff. So for you to say you're building cap space for 27 when you don't even have Luka signed for extension can't be possible. Get your ass going and let's get some deals to make this Lakers team a contender.
Preach. The last thing we want is to go through a regular season coming up where Luka's free agency is in the balance. LeBron, we don't know if by the trade deadline he's going to say, I want to get dealt. And you're going to have a DeAndre Ayton just acting a fool, right? Like, that's the last thing that we need for this season.
Oh, man.
But that's what it's kind of pointing towards. Just hopefully get LeBron to buy in for this year. Get that extension going. make a trade, sign Ayton, right? Have him be one of two bigs that we pick up.
Yep.
Gary Payton Jr. is still out there.
Yes.
A couple guys are still out there, right? Add a little bit more depth on the team and defensively, of course. Because we saw the two teams that made it to the finals last year were 8, 9, 10 deep, and they were the ones that were the strongest. They got to a Game 7 of the NBA Finals. We know there was a big injury. So that I think that's, and we're going to talk about it in a second here. That's what some of the teams that are really gearing up for a run did.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right. So enough Lakers talk.